What's up, audience? It's Thomas here. Welcome to an edited episode of The Sims 4 live stream on September the 5th, 2022. By my side sits 5 AI voice actors from Switchlight. Hi there.
Hi there. I'm Cameron from Australia, and I portray Thape, the dad of the Thanks.
I'm Mirai from India, and I portray Chomfu, the mom of the Thangs.
I'm Addison from Australia, and I portray Triratna, the eldest daughter.
I'm Lucas from the USA, and I portray Treazel, the only son.
I'm Jessica from the USA, and I portray Aria, the youngest daughter of the Thangs.
Triratna. When I was controlling you as the protagonist in September 2022, how did you describe the in-game calendar?
There are two calendar systems in our live series. A seasonal year consists of 28 in-game days. On the other hand, a lifespan year consists of 7 in-game days. The year count in the Gregorian calendar follows the lifespan calendar for a reasonable game pace, not too fast, not too slow. For instance, when you started playing with me in 1962 in summer, 1963 was autumn, 1964 was winter, 1965 was spring, and so on. At the start of the video, the in-game year was 1971, and Aria had just graduated early from high school. Gameplay-wise, I was a zookeeper in Real World March 2022, an actor in September 2022, and a doctor in May 2023.
You equipped my wife and me with the following bonus traits: hardly hungry, seldom sleepy, savant, and steel bladder, plus antiseptic for my wife.
Do you know? We 3 siblings turned to the occult for the race to immortality. My sister believes in magic, so she has become a disciple of Roxanne Wong, my mom's boss. My brother, on the other hand, was bitten by a werewolf when I was 9, turning him into one of its kind. He has to be loyal to the pack and hunt for collectibles to level up. When I was an 8th grader, I sought the legendary vampiress, and her name was Amy Sang, the greatest musician, actress, and life coach of all time throughout the 20th century. To be one of her disciples, I have to turn to vampirism. But instant immortality comes at a price. Avoid the sun and the garlic, and always drink blood instead of eating normal food.
Did you take the admission exam and submit the score to both Bradchester and Foxbury universities?
Yes, I did, and I got admitted into both of them. Choosing Foxbury, I ended up in a similar STEM career, like my brother who studies in the Faculty of Engineering. In the end, I chose computer science. Sounds weird in the 70s, right? Back then, it was named telecommunications engineering.
Like my sisters, I applied to every possibly eligible scholarship. Among them, we all hate just one thing: soccer. To keep ourselves fit and supported, we play it anyway for the campus team throughout the curriculum.
As Thailand had just started its industrialization, agriculture was still the main career for most Thais. Nonetheless, even in the present, industrialization provides an investment opportunity for Japanese companies and skill development for local laborers like me. Even though I am a stylist, I also grow veggies to save my food costs and retain my parents' wisdom.
As shown in the footage, my siblings were taking 2 radio receivers and some strawberries with them, plus checking my relations to let the audience know how close we were, even if I had been married and moved out.
As shown in the current footage, as my children wanted somewhere to study, they decided to go to the campus union. Inside the building, there are not only high-performance PCs, but also research archive machines, chess tables, and a robotics workshop. To sum up, STEM is in the blood of all Foxbury students.
As I am a stylist, I can influence the in-game fashion. Sometimes when I work outside my office, my boss requests me to design a new collection, keeping my townies' fashion up to date. As the game date was 1971, flared jeans, also known as bell-bottoms, were the most popular trouser choice. Nonetheless, we could still feel other fashion trends, such as bohemian maxi skirts and mod dresses with go-go boots. This time, earth tone was preferred for tops. Moreover, 1971 was a transitional year from mod to bohemian and disco trends. Men's fashion, on the other hand, evolved somewhat slower than women's due to the men's less shape constraints. Due to the negative reactions received from customers in the hippie movement, I decided to design a transitional collection inspired by the Wild West, with earth tone tops and bell bottoms in mind. This collection abandons the formality of the early 60s and favors colorfulness of the bohemian and the disco styles.
Before we started studying together, we played a table tennis match. Was it fun, Aria?
Yes, it was. My bro and I were neck and neck in that game, but neither won decisively.
Aria, are you thirsty? And from whom did or will you drink?
No, I'm not. I've drunk from our mom. Do you see, viewers? Even my brother knows that I'm a vampire.
As long as I'm not pregnant, I suggest you drink from me, Aria.
My sister was not lying. She's married to Kiyoshi Ito and lives nearby.
As a backup study option, we decided to buy textbooks before we reserved a table. Do you know? In the Uploaders channel's lore in 2019, our aunt, Juliet, was a time traveler who introduced and sold 21st century devices to different moments in the 20th century, including our timeline.
While doing our homework and assignments, we got acquainted with a few seniors in our faculty, the Faculty of Engineering. I don't know what's wrong with the game's algorithm. The game spawned so many Japs since December 2020 in the real world. Anyway, as I'm Asian, I won't bother with this while we anticipate the next expansion pack, for rent. Just a few days before Christmas, if you continue playing with us, we wish we could move into in-game Thailand, the town of Tomarang. American towns suck and we're sick of them.
Once our homework had been done, we winded down in the hall. As Aria was not as sporty as I am, she played video games on the device our aunt calls laptop, basically a more portable workstation arcade hybrid.
I came to Foxbury to leave Aria an important note to take her mom from work so that she could expand Ms. Huang's customer base at the campus and get some inspiration there. Nonetheless, she drank from a random sim. What a shame.
The collection I drafted and designed in the morning was a buzz. And everyone is convinced to try it. What a success as fast as lightning. If you don't like my looks in the collection, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll revise them in the future. Remember, kids, never donate any penny to Bess Sterling. She's a scammer.
Thanks for reminding me, Mom. But I've got a part-time shift tonight, and I gotta go now.
Thank you too. I'm sorry, but you warned me a little bit too late. Sorry for that.
I know it, Treacle. If you want to invest, do it directly. And never trust the brokers, cause they cheat. That evening, I explored the campus market and took several photos not only to level myself up in photography, but also for potential trend setting for university students and professors alike.
Being a werewolf has two advantages. I can take a piss anywhere secluded, and I can even sleep on the floor without scratching my skin. While visiting the lumber mill library, as I had slept while my mom was busy taking photos, I decided to level up in lycanthropy by reading werewolf books, just to know more about my kin.
On the next day, the sun was too strong for me that morning. After applying a few pounds of fertilizer, I became so sunburnt that I became sleepy and in need of shade right after gardening.
What a hard work in the garden. Why is everyone leaving me alone in the garden? I wonder what were my parents doing? Are they leveling up a work-related skill? The sun is too strong for my sister to go out. It can kill her if she's exposed for too long, so she can't help me so much.
Treacle has been interested in rocketry and physics since his high school years. To put his lessons to application, I decided to shrink and redecorate the fish pond, providing room for the spaceship launcher pod to be assembled as his curriculum progressed. I love my left-brained son.
Mum, why did you remove my cauldron? I'm a mage and I need it.
Triratna, don't you recall having another one at your home? I'm certain it will boil you the same portion you want.
We appreciate you, Mommy, for buying us the rocket launch gantry. What did we do afterward, Aria?
As we have fished for several episodes in a row, we decided to stock the pond with the fish we caught.
I thank Arya for stocking my pond. You're such a lovely daughter. And you repay me with fish and crops. Every meal I feed you is worth it.
Dad, it's my turn to play the episode with my husband. Kiyoshi enjoys winter sports in his youth. Despite his crush on Corey, in the end, they broke up in their last year at Copperdale High School. Am I responsible for rivaling her to fight over him? If you want to know, just look back at my past streams. In his free time, he teaches me how to snowboard, and I teach him how to play soccer. We all love sports. As shown in the footage, he has just signed up for a baseball team. Baseball is the most popular team sport in Japan. In this series, determined to outfame my mom, I signed an acting contract with Anglomosa. As we used to enroll in the same Mandarin course in our last 3 years at high school, I sometimes call my husband Ching. As shown in the footage, I invited the cast and crew of my upcoming project, plus my dad over just to get acquainted before I start filming. Being in a romantic relationship is somewhat beneficial for my career. For instance, if the script contains a romantic scene, I can practice romantic scenes with my lover. Kiyoshi, thanks for your lifelong love. While I cook and massage you after your weary matches, you pair with me in off-camera acting routines. I appreciate your sacrifice for my love. Soon, my shooting project is about to begin. Do you know? Some careers in The Sims 4 allow you to go to the office. As known as active careers, acting is one of them. No more boring fast forwards. Next to me is my music and acting tutor. Her name is Amy Seng, my sister's vampire master and the life coach of our timeline. Luckily, her skin was thick enough to resist the sunlight due to her age and magical strength. She's an 18th century person embracing the 20th century lifestyle. The co-star of this project is Judith Ward, an experienced actress who had engaged in several relationships before she knew me. In the silent film era, she began her career as a kid and as an extra. Law-wise, she was a selfish and money-loving snob. Getting ready for the shooting, the stylists dressed me up as a physician, the protagonist in that TV series. It was one of the first projects entirely shot in color, no more black and white roles. While entering the studio's bathroom, someone dropped a suicide note. It was Mrs. Nunez, one of my closest ex-classmates, who wrote it. She wrote that in order to repay the business expansion loan ASAP, she invested with Bess Sterling, who tricked her into advanced stock investment, risky yet lucrative. In the end, Nunez was cheated and scammed. To be honest, investment in the stock market is extremely risky and not recommended for beginners. Unbearable in such financial difficulties, she overdosed on drugs to commit suicide. Never invest with Bess Sterling, I warn you. I tried to overcome grief and asked for some morale from the director before the shooting began. With my bravery well gathered, the shooting went well and smoothly. Not only the crew, but my fans also anticipated the edited film role, even if it was my first project with Anglomosa Studios. The romantic scene was paired between me and a random Japanese actor. Look at his curly blonde hair. Perhaps I should summon my mum over to have him made over. What a funny towny spawning algorithm. Once the shooting was done, the cast and the crew alike became hungry. 7 or 8 p.m. is the right time for me to eat, especially when I'm pregnant or breastfeeding my babies.
Once Triratna's acting gig is over, it's her younger siblings' turn to continue the series. I wonder why my son got lost for so long throughout the day and night. Is he joining a sleepover with his pack or his girlfriend? Or probably, his pack kidnapped him. I don't know. Luckily, he answered my phone, so he rejoined me and returned home. My boy, can you please stop being angry with me? Your dad, Arya, and I forgive you.
My pack did not invite me to today's pack hunt. I just wanted to get acquainted with my girlfriend's parents and siblings, so she offered me a sleepover.
Don't you see, audiences? Even my son is fond of the Wild West-inspired disco fashion in my 1971 collection.
Good evening, Treacle. Do you miss me, son?
I miss you, Daddy. I'm glad I made it home. Where is Arya?
She's at work. Aren't you impressed by her diligence? Even though she has classes to take at the campus, she must endure hardships in the night-side hustle to pay for her tuition fees. Vampires don't sleep unless they spend their power to cast unique spells or recover from sunburns. Garlic irritates their fangs, and the sunlight can kill them.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Mom. Hi, Peaceful. May I take a nap?
Kids, have you all done your homework yet? If not, do it now.
With our parents' meditation, we 3 siblings live together in harmony despite being different occults. Being part of the scientific community was my grandpa's dream my dad failed to achieve. May you rest in peace, Grandpa Subin, Treacle, and I have met your dream.
I wonder what kind of power was keeping us awake throughout that night. Probably we drank too much coffee while the streamer was playing as my eldest daughter, Triratna. Finally, my younger children can experience hands-on rocketry before their morning class. As the devs of this game assume that we are American regardless of ethnicity and where we are from, the seasonal calendar adheres to American festivals. The wandering spirit asking for sacrifices are called garden gnomes. This is how we observe the autumn festival. Before going to work or school, I suggest you appease the gnomes. To avoid divine punishment, we will pair the correct sacrificial object to each and every gnome variant.
Yes, darling. In alterations with the in-game names, I'll say the gnome names based on their appearance. In general, most gnomes are fond of coffee, yet there are exceptions. Alien gnomes, obsessed with advanced technologies, are fond of future cubes. Pie is usually eaten by belly gnomes, gnome reapers, werewolf gnomes, and gnomes in swimsuits. Bunnies eat veggies, so gnomes in their costume like salad. The gnome couple in the swimming pool, including the nude one, like playing with toys. Ghosts like embedding in furniture and appliances for fun, thus, their gnomes are fond of fruitcakes. Pie, salad, or toy can be offered to Captain, Sunflower, Werewolf, and Camper gnomes. The stackable and the bird-riding gnomes never accept sacrifices.
The turkey is roasted just for you, my son. Is it delicious?
Yes, it is. I like this year's Thanksgiving meal. What a delicious lunch.
Showing appreciation is a part of the Thanksgiving tradition. If you live alone, you may send an appreciation letter to anyone you know personally. For instance, I'm sending a thank you letter to Kiyoshi, my brother-in-law, for looking after Petrie well.
For parents, Thanksgiving is the festival to enhance your teenage children's empathy. As shown in the footage, it looks like my son's turn to make a divine sacrifice.
As shown in the footage, while my son, in order to show empathy to the world, was going out to convince that werewolves were not inherently evil, my husband was composing comedy routines, and my daughter was writing her term paper.
While I was strolling in our neighborhood, I ran into my little brother, Tresel. He was sending appreciation letters, and my parents would be proud.
Petrie, would you like to meet our parents and know Maria?
No thanks, but it's near my husband's shift soon and I need to take care of his house. Tell Aria I appreciate her letter.
Do you miss me, Triratna? I miss you so much.
You're welcome to your childhood home, Petrie. If you need help or have anything in your mind, feel free to reach out to us.
That afternoon, I was surrounded by my fashion fan club. Even the headmaster at my children's alma mater embraced my latest fashion trend.
At some point, my dad had a stroke. Shocked, I called my big sister over. Time to put her newly learned necromancy to use.
Thanks for teaching me your necromantic lore, Mrs. Wang. Your magic was useful in such an emergency situation. I can save my loved ones from early death with a few wand swings.
Thanks for saving me, Triratna. You are such a lovely daughter. Your magic has been put to use, and it can save your loved ones.
You see someone dying, and you're scared. Meeting someone with grey hair can help. Think about a village elder.
Thanks for saving my dad, Petrie. May I drink from you? Wish you sleep well tonight.
You're welcome, Aria. Wish our dad alive. Just don't compel me before you drink should be enough.
That night, I learned the mist form spell, another vampiric locomotion. I don't think that's worth replacing my bat form. Does the former locomotion save more vampiric energy than the latter? If it does, feel free to let me know in the comments.
It's nothing more. I had a heart attack, but Triratna was just in time to save me. I finally believe in her magic. Cry no more, my love.
Am I dreaming? Am I just dreaming? Dave, is that your flesh? You're alive. Finally, correct gnome offerings came to fruition. The divine blessing spawned us seed bags, so many that we could sell them if we wished, but we didn't.
In The Sims 4, occults have different ways to level up. For instance, vampires level up by blood hunts, reading vampire books, casting vampiric spells, and so on. Even though Eric was Amy's ex and classmate at the Count's Academy, she levels up on her own. Starting from level 5, all vampires have to level up on their own. No one, even Miss Sang and the Count, can offer further training. It was a few minutes before the morning lecture at the campus. I diverged my attention to that week's homework and finished the final touches. What a bittersweet Thanksgiving night.
While waiting for our afternoon lecture and my mom's shift, we tended our garden, once more and as usual. Romantically seasoned, I was hesitant about whom to keep and whom to break up. I don't want to be another Don Juan, and I want to keep the only true love, leaving me to choose either of the remaining, Sophia or Savannah.
After finishing my homework, I decided to prepare myself for my night shift as a Twitch streamer, a side hustle, you know? This career sounds familiar today, yet strange in the 1970s, so the closest side hustle for me was an outsourcing author, a non-employee writer who assists in writing magazine or journal articles.
On that Friday evening, my children had a hangout in the thrifty store. On that day, even though they didn't know many new people, they and I ran into their big sister, Triratna. While we were driving home, the moon transformed my son into his beast form, so he jumped out of our car to find his pack and level himself up. But worry not, as always, he can find and run his own way home.
In the morning with my pack, and in my pack hideout, I explored the underground tunnel to level myself up and keep myself loyal to the pack.
In the next sub-episode, we will continue playing the weekend transitioning to winter, and to the lifespan year of 1972. I bet the next video will be full of surprises. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Good night for now.